hi, a little bit of crochet today, slightly off sort of centre where I normally go, because obviously I do doll crochet, amigurumi crochet, but because, as I said, I've mentioned before, we're decorating the room in here, so that side's sort of decorated, but my shelves aren't up. But I'm wanting a shelf just above here where the computer is, and I wanted some bunting. So I was sort of playing around with a couple of ideas. I've done 3 or 4, wasn't happy, because I was going to go granny square-esque, but I eventually went for the traditional triangle. And this is my little triangle. Can you see it? Yeah. So I thought, well, I'll share it with you. Why not? So we're going to be doing this today. This is part of my bunting. I'm using a variegated yarn, which is absolutely gorgeous. I love the yarn so much. It's one I picked up the other day. So it's going to sort of match in, as you can see, ish with the colours, because the shell's going to be white as well. So I think that'll work quite nicely. So if you want to join me, we're going to be making one of these. This is what the tutorial is actually going to be. But I also wanted to share some other information with you, which I'm quite excited about. I am a freelance crochet designer, and I do write for sort of, I've written for various magazines and things, but I mainly sort of do submissions, I was going to say subscriptions, submissions for Simply Crochet Magazine. So here we go. This is this month's, yeah, and this, I don't know whether I'm holding that right place. This is my bag in here. There's also a cushion design that's mine in here, so I'm really excited. I've got 2 items in this month, so it's going to be a busy year by the look of it, because this is sort of like the first thing I've got done. I'm also working on the book as well, which I'm not allowed to tell you too much information. It's going to be a fun book. It's just, I think you'll enjoy it. I think most of you that follow me will follow that line, and that's all I'm saying for now. But it won't be till next year it's out, because we have so many things to do. I just have to make things, make the patterns, then they have to do all the publishing bits, and sort of check in and all that sort of thing. So it's quite a long process, but I'm still excited. It's still happening. So I'm looking forward to that. So I've got lots of work to do on that, but I'm not allowed to show you. It's I've made some things I'm really pleased with, but I'm still not allowed to show you, so it's a bit weird. So I'm going to just show you some of the things. I'm not going to show you the patterns, but it is this month. It is in the UK, so that is the other thing. If you're not able to get it, I don't know whether you can get it on, I know you can order online, so you might be able to get it online sort of in different countries. I'm not 100% sure about that. You'd have to check on their website. It is issue number, where are we? 119. So I know this is in our supermarkets at the moment. So we'll just have a quick look. And then obviously if you fancy doing it, there's some great other patterns in there. It is one of my favourite crochet magazines. There's a couple out there, but this is the one I've always seemed to stick with. So we'll have a look at that as well as doing our little tutorial. So I will see you in a second with a little bit of crochet. Hi, back with the bunting, and here it is. It's a really simple triangle, basically. We've got a little slight flower motif, and then we go a little bit granny square-esque. We've got a couple little picots on the end here, but nothing complicated at all. You probably whip these out quite quickly as soon as you've made your first one. As I mentioned, I've got this variegated yarn. It is a double knit yarn. I am actually using a 3.5mm crochet hook for mine, but you can use any, because as long as it's a hook that works with a double knit yarn, you just get a slightly larger triangle or a slightly smaller triangle. That is entirely up to you. The pattern still works the same. You could use it on a 4-ply yarn. Again, as you know, if you do crochet often, you can take the same pattern and sort of shrink it and make it larger just by altering the yarn and the hook size. These are UK terms, so please remember that. I've got a few to make. As you can see, I've made a few here, and you can see, because of the variegated yarn, how mine is going to turn out. I think that's my favourite one. I think that's why I showed you that one at the beginning. And I've got a few ends, but thankfully there's only 2 ends to sew in, and then you need to sort of obviously decide how you're going to hang it. Because of these tiny picots, you could actually hang a thread through it, or you could just crochet the 2 pieces together, or stitch them together, or add a string. I mean, bunting can be done in so many different ways, so that part obviously is entirely up to you. But I just thought I'd show you the triangle that I actually did. So I've got obviously my few bits and pieces. I have some scissors, I have some needles. Don't need any stitch markers, because I say it's really simple. So we'll move those together. I've not decided how many I need yet, because I've not decided on the length of the shelf I want. I mean, looking at a shelf I've got there, I think I'm probably going to need about 7. of these. So what have I got? I've got 4 up to now, so this one will be my 5th I'm doing with you guys, so it'll not take too long, but I do have to buy the shelf. That would be useful first. So here we go. This is a, obviously you see, there's got a sort of slight sort of glitter to it. Now this is a baby DK. So baby DKs are, I'm just seeing if I kept the piece of paper that it was on. I normally try and keep the ball bands, but I haven't. I'm pretty sure it was a I think it's a King Cole. I might be wrong, apologies for that. Right, it is, as I say, a baby double knit, slightly tiniest sort of bit finer than a regular double knit, and I've got this gorgeous sparkle in it, which I think is really cute as well. So it was one we picked up. I mentioned in one of my other videos, we went to the Bronte Parsonage because I'm a big sort of Bronte book fan. So we went up there and I found a yarn shop. You have to find a yarn shop wherever you go. So I did sort of spoil myself and bought a few balls of wool. So here we go. We're going to have our slip knot, I was going to say slip stitch then, slip knot on the hook. And we're going to start with 6 chains. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Let's bring this one over so you can sort of have a little look as we go, and it would be an idea if I reopen my book where I've written the pattern down. Close my book while I was looking for the ball band. There we go, I've got it. It's like I say, it's not too bad to remember anyway. So when I have my chain, I'm then going to slip stitch into the first one, pull it through and pull it through, and it makes this little circle. Just tighten that bit up there slightly so you don't go in the wrong hole when you do the next bit. We're going to do 3 chain, 1, 2 and 3. That counts as our first treble. Now the first stitches here, they're like little treble clusters, but your first one always is a little bit weird because you have to start with 3 chain. So the next bit is going to be 2 sort of trebles together. So in we go. So I've wrapped my yarn in the hole in the middle. I'm going to pull it through just once. Okay, I'm going to wrap my yarn again, go into the hole, pull it through just the 2. That will leave me 3 stitches on the hook, and then I'm going to pull through all 3. Okay, 5 chain, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. We're now going to keep going back into this center point because you can see this is where all the stitches come from, and we're going to do 3 trebles together this time. So yarn round, pull it through, only pull it through the first 2, that leaves 2 on there. Yarn round, in again, pull it through, just pull it through 2. We now have 3. Yarn round, put it through, pull it just through 2, and we have 4 stitches on the hook now. What I usually find is, depending what sort of clusters you're doing, if you were doing like 3 trebles together, you end up with 4 stitches on the hook. So it's like just 1 above whatever. So if I was doing 4 together, I would end up with 5, for example. Yarn through all of those. Okay, so that was our second little cluster. 5 chain, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like the yarn's going to change colour any second now. Again, obviously colour choice is entirely up to you. I just have a bit of a thing for variegated jam. So I've done my 5 chain, and I'm going to go back in this hole with another 3 together. So yarn round, pull it through, only pull it through 2 of them, so it leaves 2 there. Yarn round, in again, only pull through the first 2. We now have 3. Yarn round, into the hole, pull it through, only through the first 2. So we've got our 4, which is required. So pull it through all 4, and there we go. Another 5 chain. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. I'm just going to push these around slightly because we need to get in total 6 petals. Yarn round, into the hole, pull it through, just pull it through the first 2. Yarn round, into the hole, pull it through, only pull the yarn through the first 2. Again, 3rd time, just through the first 2. We have 4 on the hook, so that's good. Pull it through all 4. 5 chain, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Just move it around a bit further. Again, off we go, 3 together. So in we go, only pull it through the first 2, leaves us 2 on the hook. Yarn round, in we go, just pull it through the first 2, 3 on the hook. Yarn round, just pull it through the first 2,
we have 4 on the hook, so we can pull through all of them. So how many have we got now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need one more, so we need 5 chain. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and then into here our 3 trebles together again. So yarn round, in we go. We just pull it through the first 2, yarn round, and move a bit more of this yarn. It's catching on something I've got there. There we go. So I've only done 1, haven't I? So yarn round into the space, pull it through just 2, yarn round into space, not literally, 4 on the hook, through all of them. So we now need 5 chain to join these. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and we're going to go into the top where it joins, and we're going to do a slip stitch. I'm going to split the stitch there. There we go. So you can see that is the base part that we need. So we do check that you have got your 6, because I was doing one yesterday just watching TV as well, and I suddenly realized when I got down the second round I'd got 7. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. That is what we need. I'm now going to just slip stitch into that chain space, so that puts me ready in position, and I'm going to be carrying on the next round, which is this one here, with some treble clusters, or 3 trebles together, however you want to refer to it, and those are going to make our corner. So this first one is going to be our first triangle's corner. So we're going to do 3 chain because it's the first one, so you have to, and then 2 together, so trebles together. Just pull through 2, pull through 2, and you know I mentioned if you were doing if you were doing 3 together, you should have 4 on the hook, so on and so forth. Well, if we have just 2, we should have 3, and that works. Pull it through. Now this is going to be a corner one, so like with the granny square, we need a set of chains and then back into this same place, don't we? So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and then we're going to go back into the same one because it's a corner, yarn round with 3 trebles together. So that's 1, 2, 3, pull through all 4. So that's my first corner. So the next one doesn't need to be a corner because we only have 3 corners, don't we, for a triangle. So we're going to do our 5 chain again. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And into this next chain space here, we're only going to do a double crochet. So in you go, pull it through, double crochet. Lovely. 5 chain. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now this one is going to be our corner again, so we need 3 together, 5 chain, 3 together, all in that same space there. So yarn round, that's our first one, second one, third one. We have 4 on the hook, pull it through, 5 chain, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, back in the same one because it's the corner, yarn round, in we go, pull it through 2, yarn round, pull it through 2, yarn round and pull it through 2, 4 on the hook, pull it through all 4. We're going to have 5 chain, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Next one has to be a double crochet, in we go, 5 chain, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Next one is our last corner. You can already see it's sort of shaping as a triangle, yarn round, in we go, 3 trebles together. So we're 4 on the hook, all 4 even. 5 chain, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Yarn round into the space. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the hook, through all 4, 5 chain, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, double crochet into the next one. There we go. Now we need 5 chain to finish it, so as we can slip stitch in the top of this one here. So 5 chain, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and slip stitch. So we have an approximate triangle, so you have 1, 2 and 3 corners, so you can see that's quite a nice little shape as it stands, but we're going to carry on. We need it a little bit bigger than that, so I'm going to slip stitch into that 5 chain space, and I'm going to start with 3 chain, 1, 2 and 3. But then I'm just going to do 2 trebles, just regular trebles. So yarn round, pull through 2 and 2. That's 1. Again, now that makes 3 trebles, because remember that first 3 chain counts as a treble. I'm only going to do 3 chain now. It's like a granny square. 1, 2 and 3, and then back in the same space 3 trebles. 1, 2 and 3. So we're still working on a corner. That's still a corner. We're now going to just do 3 chain, 1, 2 and 3, and 1 double crochet into the next one, 3 chain, 1, 2, 3, 1 double crochet in the next one, because these are sides, aren't they? These are not corners. 3 chain, 1, 2 and 3, and this is a corner, so we need 3 trebles, 3 chain, 3 trebles. Here we go. So that's treble number 1, treble number 2, and treble number 3. Oh, it's going on to a pretty lilac-y purpley colour now. 3 chain, 1, 2 and 3, into the next one, into the same space actually, isn't it? But it's the next stitches. 3 trebles. So again, that makes the corner. 3 chain, double crochet in the next space, 3 chain, double crochet in the next space, 3 chain. We have a corner, so we need 3 trebles, 3 chain, 3 trebles. That's 1, 2, 3, 3 chain, 1, 2 and 3. The yarn's pulling a bit. Let me pull some out. Sometimes with the metallics it can catch on your fingers a little bit, which is a bit annoying. So back in that same space with 3 trebles, because it was the corner, wasn't it? 1, 2 and 3, 3 chain, 1, 2 and 3, double crochet next, 3 chain, double crochet in the next, 3 chain to finish, 1, 2 and 3. We'll finish this round, and we're going to slip stitch into the top of this 3 chain here. So we still have a little triangle, which is good, which means we've not added anything in. Now I have actually edged it, so I want you, and you could leave it like that, make quite a nice lacy one. You can make lots of them and join them like that, but I wanted to do the edge with these little picots as well. So I'm going to do 1 chain, and I'm going to do a double crochet into every single stitch. But when I get to these chains, because that's 3, that's 3, that's 3, they need 3 double crochets in there, but you'll see that as we go along. Otherwise, into the top of each stitch. So we have 1 there, there. I have a corner, so I need to do 2 first, because I want this picot. So I've just done 2, and then I go 1, 2 and 3. And usually a picot will say into that bottom stitch, which is how you would do it. You would sort of slip stitch back into the first chain. I like to actually, let me see if I can get the needle to show you. I actually like to go in this bit. Can you see those 2 pieces there? It makes it a bit tighter, but again, up to you, however you prefer your picot. So I've gone in there, and I'm going to do a slip stitch. Okay, then I need 1 more double crochet in there, because I'd only done 2, hadn't I? So watch for this, because this bit here hides under this, so we need 1, 2 and 3. 1, 2 and 3. We have a chain, a 3 chain, so we need 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. I've changed colour again. We have a double crochet here, so you still need to go in that one as well. Then we have our 3 chain, 1, 2 and 3. We have a double crochet, we need to go in that one. We have a 3 chain, so we need 3 stitches, 1, 2 and 3. We have our trebles now, so 1 into the top of each treble, 1, 2 and 3. We have our corner for our picot, so we do 2 double crochets, then we do 3 chain, 1, 2 and 3, and we slip stitch back to wherever you prefer, and we do 1 more double crochet. We make sure we pick up all 3 of these, 1, 2 and 3, 3 in the chain, 1, 2 and 3, 1 in that double crochet, 3 in the chain, 1, 2 and 3 in the double crochet, and 3 in the chain, 1, 2 and 3. We need to make sure we get all these 3 trebles, 1, 2 and 3. That's good. We have a corner with our picot, so we have 2 double crochets first, 3 chain, 1, 2 and 3, slip stitch back into the first or the position that I did, entirely up to you, and 1. We're on our last edge. I told you they didn't take long at all. So 1 in the top of each treble, 1, 2, lots of 3s, isn't there? 3, 3 in the chain, 1, 2 and 3, 1 in that double crochet, and 3 in the chain, 1, 2 and 3 in the double crochet. This ball is definitely deciding it's going to roll about a bit. 3 in the chain space, 1, 2 and 3, and then just a slip stitch, because we're back to the beginning, because this is where we started on those first ones. So just a slip stitch there. Fasten off, and there we go. There is another little triangle to go with my set. So at the minute, how many have I got? So I got 5, haven't I? So I've got to decide which ones go in which position. So I've got a 5 there. I think, like I say, even though I've not got the shelf yet, I've got another one that's approximately the same size. So I think I'm looking at 7. So I'm not quite sure how I'm going to hang them yet. I've not decided whether I'm going to just sort of crochet them together or whether I sort of put a little gap in between each one. Or you could even pop them on a string, as I say, because you could actually thread through these picots, so you could put them on a ribbon. A ribbon might be quite a nice idea. I might think about that, because I'd need some fine ribbon for that though. So that is actually that, and I said I was going to just quickly show you the Simply Crochet as well, so I'll bring that in now. So here we are, ta-da! As I say, that's my little bag there. I was so excited it got on the front page as well. It is a wonderful magazine. It does all sorts of things. You've got patterns, you've got charts, you've got how-tos, conversion charts. They're always great to see as well. A little bit about new yarns that are coming out. Just trying to find. And there's the picture of the bag. And there we go. By Sarah Scales. There I am. That's my name. I quite enjoyed making this, actually. It's a cute little bag. Not something I'd use that size personally. But it was really nice to do, and I thought the colours were great. I don't get to choose the colours when I'm doing this, the magazines. We give ideas up. They decide whether they might like it. They don't always choose your work. So if you ever do this, you know, don't be upset if someone says, oh, I don't want it this month. Sometimes you have to accept that, and then you might not get anything for months, and then you get a chance, which I did. And then they sort of supply the colours that they require, because it goes with their theme. So that is the bag. I'm just trying to find, like I said, there's some great others. Oh, and there's my cushion. Although I will comment, Simply Crochet, my cushion is upside down. Because can you see how these should sit? They should, well, you can see it on that line there. They should all sort of flow down, so the cushion should be the other way up. That's just how it is, unfortunately. Obviously, the photographers don't know that, do they? But there's loads and loads of other ideas. It's a great magazine. Oh, that's so cute. So there's all the details about the subscriptions, and it's just a good magazine generally. I don't know what they've got going off next month. Let's see if it says. Sometimes they do a bit at the back. They also do have a online sort of information page as well, which is quite good. And there's all sorts, because obviously you can see they're doing knitting and crochet there. So there's also little things to do in the magazine. It's just nice sometimes to have a little bit of inspiration. Even if you're happy with what you do, there are times, I know myself, that I go, I just don't feel like doing anything, or I can't think of a design, or can't think of some colours, something like that. And sometimes it just takes that little bit, sort of sitting down, have a cup of coffee, read your magazine, and you'll suddenly go, oh, I really like that, actually. So that is all I'm going to do today. My needles are good. I love these magnetised things, but everything gets stuck to everything. No, it's stuck to my scissors. It's really although I don't lose it that way. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. It's a really cute design, really quick to do. The dog is barking just in time for me to finish, so I'm going to leave it at that. Please pop some comments on there if you do enjoy it. I do like to hear from people. I do try and answer you back as soon as I can. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all very soon with another video. Bye bye for now.